Hello YouTube. So today I'm going to be showcasing a couple mods. This is the Modular Warfare mod and the Even More TNT mod, which is very similar to the TooMuchTNT mod. In fact, they might be the same thing, just different versions. So these are mods that I chose because of the warfare type of vibe that they have, so I think that they pair well together. I'm also using the Instant Massive Structures mod to be able to make these buildings instantly, so you should check that mod out as well. So, the first thing that I'm going to start with is the Modular Warfare mod. You might be here because of the TNT, and trust me, I'll get there. In fact, you can even skip ahead if you'd like that. But I wanted to start off with this mod because I think it's really cool, maybe underrated a bit, at least as far as the warfare mods go. So, if we go to our menu here, we have a decent amount of choice into what gun we'd like. They also have modifications, which I'm not going to be getting into these, but they do modify the guns. What I wanted to look into more was the guns that are just able to be fired immediately. So that's basically all of them. You don't need anything special to do that. So the way that these guns work is that they obviously require ammunition. So make sure that you have that corresponds to the gun that you want to use. So if I'm going to use the AK-47, I'll be using the AK-47 ammo. So if I go to the gun, first I try to shoot it and nothing happens. If I press R, then it'll load. It'll say full, 30 out of 30. So now we can see the gun. It's very realistic. If I change my perspective here, you can see that I actually have another one of my guns in the back, and it switches depending on which gun you have out. So I think that's pretty cool. And of course the guns look really awesome, very realistic. At least as far as Minecraft goes, I think that that's pretty cool. They do make noises, and you can shoot things with them. If we want to use our MP5 and mini Uzi, we'll need the ammo, so this works, and then the ammo for the MP5, which we can find here, or that's MP40, MP5, it's right here. So we'll load up this, 25. They have their own sort of designs as far as the sound goes, so they all sound different. And you do need to press the reload on all of them. They have very good range, so I think that they're a really cool addition to your Minecraft world. As far as being able to acquire ammo and such, I believe that they might spawn naturally inside of chests and stuff, and also this depends on what other mods you have enabled. You also might be able to edit it in somehow using Craft Tweaker or something similar to that. You can also use something like Project E, which will work fine for this, as long as you just attach what you think is a fair EMC value to the ammo clips or the guns. Ultimately, I'd recommend just using crafting recipes. I don't actually know if you're able to craft the guns yet. I'm pretty sure that this mod is still in some sort of development, but I think that it is really, really cool. So now for the TNT, and I've got these structures here so that we can blow them up. So let's just start with this first row, and there's a lot of TNT to test out. So, teleporting TNT. You can kind of already assume what it's going to do. I'll light it up, and as you can see, it teleports around, and finally explodes somewhere random. I guess this would be kind of a good TNT for trolling people. Just gotta keep in mind you don't know where it's gonna go. So, okay, so this one's the mining TNT. I think this one personally is really cool. What it does is mine. So you get the block drops, I think. Let me double check. No, you don't. But it'll send a hole right down to bedrock for you, so that's really cool. Okay, so the next one is the lightning storm TNT. Honestly, I'd ignite this in a village, but I don't know where any village is, so let's just ignite it right on all these trees. And there's an upgraded version of this, which I'll show right after. I'll show the upgraded one. So this is the level of chaos that you get from the regular lightning TNT. And then if you go to the upgraded one, there's the Wrath of Zeus, which is basically the same thing, it's just stronger. So this will also be laggy. And there you go, there's a lot of destruction. And we got all this fire here, so let's try to put it out. So this is the water TNT. And just makes a bunch of water. I think that's fairly obvious. But yeah, that's what it does. So we can get something from the Incident Massive Structures mod and place that down right here. The big wooden house is what this is. And if we check, it has been placed into the world. And it looks like this. I think that it should have been placed up a block higher, but it's fine. Maybe not. Sometimes you can't really tell with these. So, what we're going to do here is we're just going to place the lava TNT here and shut the door, and we'll just watch. Maybe step a bit back. Okay. And that does what you can kind of guess. And now it's full of lava. Yeah. As far as opportunities to troll goes, I mean, you know that we have to do this. I'm sorry, villagers, but I'm doing what needs to be done. Hello. This is a very nice house you guys got here. Would be a shame if someone were to eliminate all of you with some fire, wouldn't it? Look at him, he's alive. And this guy. You guys are survivors. Okay. So now we have the gravitational TNT. Yeah, I think I'll also ignite this one here because it does a lot of screwed up things. Like bring you here. Bring you towards it. And so now we have all kinds of animals here, and they're all gone. So I'm actually gonna save the Bunker Buster TNT, and we'll get into the next one. Yeah, same with the Chunk Buster. I'll just put that there. Oh yeah, all these big shot TNTs, we'll call them, can kind of go on their own. So these are cool. Let's use the airstrike TNT right here. This is kind of cool. So if you watch, it'll ignite. Nothing happens except that happens, and that's a lot of damage. Yeah, definitely a lot of damage. And everything is kind of destroyed in this immediate area. Yeah, that's a very big airstrike. Okay, so this building's looking a little bit boring. I guess what we could do is sort of start igniting stuff. Some festive TNT, perhaps, to make it look a little bit more interesting. Doesn't do very much. But now we'll ignite the Shulker TNT. And I'm gonna put a villager here so that some villagers here so that this can be sort of displayed better. Maybe they're too close. Nope, okay, yeah. And now everyone is flying. You get the levitation effect. Anything with this is going to end up dead, by the way. Just keep that in mind. And everything over here. Look at that. It's all flying. Okay, so now we're going to try the Miner's Delight TNT. And nothing happens because I didn't ignite it in the right place, did I? No, I did. It worked. So what it does is just mines out an area. And so now we're going to do the Woodcutter's Delight. And I think as you can imagine where we're going to place this. Now we're going to ignite it. And yeah, it just mines everything. I think these are cool because they have some legitimate practical usage other than big explosions everywhere. Actually, here. Okay, so let's ignite the black hole TNT now. I know that this one is pretty exciting, isn't it? We'll find an area with a lot of, well, anywhere can have people if I want it to. And then we're gonna ignite it right here. And everything just gets consumed. Oh man. It's violence. It's insanity. It's just a black hole. And no one gets out alive. Everything is just killed. It's very violent. My inventory is completely trashed. It's not like you can do much to get out of this. Simply not fast enough. It'll stop in a moment. So we're just kind of stuck here. Notice how the wool just keeps coming back. Because even I can't throw it away. It'll just go back in here, and then it finally explodes. And so now we have the troll TNT. Again, with this one, you can kind of guess what's going to happen. The TNT is ignited, and nothing happens. So now we have the physic TNT. This one's pretty fun. I think causes a lot of chaos. So of course, we're going to put some villagers right in the middle of it. And everything is just kind of broken, you know. Yeah, now I'm stuck. There's not much I can do until the effect wears off. You're kind of stuck here. Okay. And so, you know, things are kind of messed up. I think that maybe it's time for this. You know, there's a lot of hills around here. I don't really like hills. So, we're going to be using this TNT. There we go. And it's been flattened. And of course the water absorption TNT. We'll put it right next to some water and ignite it. And all that water's gone. I think that's really cool. Pretty useful, to be honest. Okay, now it's time for the very interesting TNT that gets bigger as you go. Did I miss one? No, I didn't. Okay. So we'll start off with the 5 times. pretty big explosion. And then now for the 10 times. Bit of a bigger explosion. A little bit odd in the way that it does that. And now 20 times. A very big explosion. And for the 100, which is going to be a very, very big explosion. And everything is kind of decimated from that point. Let's keep going. 500. A lot of carnage. And there we go. And now, of course, it's not complete without activating the 1000 times TNT. This one will be very destructive. It is going to cause some lag. And yeah, that's the 1000 times TNT. We've pretty much demolished all of this area. You know, it's ripped to shreds. In fact, there's even some that got onto the building all the way over here. So I think that's pretty crazy. So just keep this in mind whenever you're adding this mod to your game. There can be a lot of destruction. Okay, so I guess we're ready for the bigger TNTs. Or I guess more interesting. I don't know if they're all bigger, but, you know. So the Buster TNTs, I guess. So we'll start off with the Bunker Buster, which just does that. It's like the mining TNT, but a bit better, and does do some damage when it hits bedrock. Yeah. And so from there on, we'll move on to the Chunk Buster. This does, you can kind of imagine what it does. It deletes a chunk. Or should I say it busts a chunk. There you go, the entire chunk is gone. Just gone. Okay. And now for the Biome Buster. Same thing, even bigger. We'll wait for that. And there you go. It's very massive. And now for the World Buster TNT. And I've got the perfect place to place it. Right at the entrance of this. And this will be very, very interesting. So it's exploded now. We'll give it a second to render in. We didn't even hear it. It is extremely devastating. Hope it worked. Yeah. We'll give it a moment. I'm gonna pause. Back. Still trying to get it to all load in. Oh my god. I think it'll load in soon. Yeah. Here we go. So, this is what happens when you ignite that TNT. I don't really know what happened. It looks like it just kind of crashed. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed that. It was a bit chaotic, I will admit. But you know, that was kind of the point. Really, you should try these mods. I think they're really interesting. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.